Okay, for some reason, my clock started over. Sorry about that. Hey, welcome. We are still celebrating the 4th of July. If you are in the United States, happy 4th to you. Happy 250th anniversary, birthday to our country. And if you are watching on TikTok, let me know where you are tuning in from. If you are watching on YouTube, let me know where you're tuning in from. You can put it in the comments and I will shout you out. The other thing is, if you have never seen me before, put a 1 in the comments. Either platform. Put a 1 in the comments if you've never seen me before. Put a 2 in the comments if you have. And I always forget to say this, but I have been doing what I'm going to talk about now and teaching it for 3 years. So if you have questions, I want you to ask them in the feed here. The way I want you to structure your questions so I can see them is, and I need to make a graphic of this, but it is Q colon and then your question. All right? Q colon and your question. So, and total transparency here, I was not able to get the images that I'm going to share with you, the overlays or the slides. I was not able to get any made for the vertical version of this. So, unfortunately, I will have to edit them in afterwards with the actual video that I will create based on this. Because I like to do this the same, right? Here, and this is the thing about content. You want to make sure that you can maximize your efforts with content. Now, what we're going to talk about today is my buddy Ray. This is one of my favorite stories of all because it's this right here. And I know I'm covering myself up, but it's worth it. Ray was 67. He had absolutely no audience. He didn't even know what I was talking about the first time that he saw me. And he watched on the sidelines for 3 months. And he will be the first to tell you watching on the sidelines was the dumbest thing that he's ever done. All right? It was the move that kept him stuck for a long time. And I'm just trying to move that over. There we go. So he was 67. He had no audience whatsoever. And within 45 days, he was making $1,300 a month teaching English as a second language. So, who wants to find out about how he did it? Because if you don't, this is going to be a really short live. Because I never believe in, like, look, this is what I'm going to tell you, and if whether you want to hear it or not, that's not how I roll. So if you don't want to hear about it, then just go ahead and scroll off, because that's what we're going to talk about. But see, what a lot of people like to do, especially these people who sell digital make money online products, which drive me bananas, they love to tell you how much they made or how successful they are. I prefer to show you how successful other people are. Isn't that a more missionary style of business? It's showing you how people have been successful, because all they did is they just did the stuff that I told them to do. That's it. Period. End of story. That's all they did. Right? So, who is Ray? Well, Ray, actually, he's semi-retired. He was doing real estate, right? But he also was teaching English as a second language. Now, what it doesn't say on here that I can tell you about my buddy Ray, and I'm going to move over here. Yeah, I'm going to move over here. So what it doesn't say about my buddy Ray was that he was 65 years old when he met me, right? And Ray was a first generation, I believe, Cuban immigrant who immigrated to Miami. And so when Ray immigrated to Miami, he had to learn how to speak English. And so, and he's got an accent because he's first generation, but he also speaks incredibly clear, precise, excellent English. I mean, I understand he's 65. He ought to, yes. He learned our language, but he's teaching people English as a second language. So he starts watching me, and I don't remember what month it was, to be honest with you, but he starts watching me on TikTok because back in the day, I used to go live on TikTok every day, and I'd go for 2.5 to 3 hours every day on TikTok. And he was watching me, and he started asking questions, and then he started showing up every single day. And he was skeptical for 3 months, right? 3 months. And then he decided, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. What do I really have to lose? So he started showing up on the live streams, and he asked me, he's like, can I even do this? Can I do this with a language? And I said, oh my God, yes, this is actually built for languages, right? This is built for languages. Let me see if I can move this over here. I think I can. Yeah, that one I can. The other ones are more, there we go. There's my buddy Ray. All right. So here's the deal. Whoops, sorry about that. So here's the deal. All right. Ray sat on the sidelines for a long time before he finally just decided, I'm going to give this a shot. Right. So he jumps in, right? Ray jumps in. And why is this not working? There we go. All right. So here's why Ray hesitated, right? I don't know where to go with these things. This is crazy. You know what? I don't like being on this side. I tell you what, I'm going to move this over, and then I'm going to go over here. There we go. All right. So here's why Ray waited. Because he fell into this trap thinking that he had to be an expert, right? He had to be an expert. And I think I'm going to make these as I go so I can create some images that you guys can see over here. Whoops, that's the wrong one. That's the one I wanted. All right. So Ray fell into this expertise trap. Another thing that he fell into is thinking that the best way that he could get paid was for views and subscribers or followers on a social media platform. That's the worst way to get paid. It's absolutely the worst way to get paid. All right? So, Ray decided, wait, what I know is worth a lot more than my views. That's why I called the title of this Expertise, Not Eyeballs. It doesn't matter how many people. The trap that most people fall into is it's not about how many views you get, it's how you get paid. It's how you get compensated. And what these platforms do, and TikTok is one of the worst offenders, what these platforms do is they trick you into being a content slave for them, thinking that the more views you can get, the more money you can make. And they fall into this trap. On TikTok, it's the creator fund or creator rewards or whatever the hell they're calling it these days, right? And what they only put in the fine print is that you're going to make about 5 cents per every 1,000 views. That's right. 5 to 10 cents per every 1,000 views. And on YouTube, it's not a lot better because it's $2 to $5 in the education content category. It's $2 to $5 per every 1,000 views. So even if you have a really good month and you make lots of content, let's say you did 30 videos in the month of, let's say you did 30 videos in the month of July. And each one of those videos got 1,000 views. Now, that would be a lot for YouTube, okay? But let's say each one got at least 1,000 views. That's only going to pay you like $60 on YouTube. And it's going to pay a fraction of that on TikTok, okay? So, don't fall into the trap that the way to get paid is by doing that, okay? Don't fall into that trap. Instead, what I want you to do, I want you to look at what Ray did, all right? Here's exactly what Ray did. I don't know if that got cut off or what happened here. Yeah, I think it got cut off. So here's what Ray did, okay? This is the exact move that Ray did. You guys want to see? All right, let's show you what Ray did. All right, this is what Ray did. Ray, and I am bringing this up here. Hang on a second. I am trying to make this big enough that I can see myself, because you know what? I'm an old guy. So I can't read this little tiny print. But instead of worrying about getting paid for how many people saw his videos, right? Instead of worrying about getting paid that way, he had an actual skill. He had a skill that has value to other people. And it's his ability to get somebody from point A to point B. And I think I'm doing that backwards. Point A to point B, right? It's his ability to do that. And so all he did is productize that ability. And what he didn't do was sell a course. Because if you sell a course, that's one-off. Every course you sell, you have to replace that buyer or you're not going to make the same amount of money. And these course sellers, these digital product creators, they love to tell you, oh, just sell 100 of these a month and you'll make X. Well, you never do sell that many a month. But you know what's a lot easier to do? Get somebody to subscribe to something where you're going to give them value every single day. You give them value every single day. And you actually care about them and show up on calls where they can talk to you. So they can ask you questions related to whatever it is that you're teaching. Right? So that's what he did. He took the knowledge that was in his head. He created a place off of social media. And I'm not talking an email list. I'm not talking a website. I'm not talking a landing page. He created a real, interactive, shared experience place off of social media. That's exactly what he did. And when he did that, he now has a place where people can learn from him. And it doesn't matter how many people see his lives, how many people see his content. And look, in the beginning, he had a free community, and I think he still does. I don't know if it's still active, but he had a free community. And then he realized a lot of the people that were coming into the free community, for lack of a better word, they were freeloaders. They weren't serious about getting the results that he was promising. So he created like a cover charge at the door. He's like, look, you've got to show me that you're somewhat serious about this. So he started with a $3 a month entry fee. All right? So he started with $3 a month. And he started with the people that were already consuming his content. He didn't go out and talk to random strangers. He didn't DM and spam people. He talked to people that were already coming on his lives and were watching his content. And he says, hey, I don't know if this is really what you're looking for, but I help blank do blank, and I do it off of social media. I have actually got this place over here that I have created where I'll help you do this. So he took what he already knew. He set a low barrier to entry so he could qualify people. And then he started building it. Now, the reason I say build the well before you need the water is for this reason. The reason I say that is because the TikTok channel you're watching me on now is not my original TikTok channel. It is my original YouTube, but it is not my original TikTok channel. Okay? And the reason it's not, hey, Onyx, how are you? What's going on? Nirvana, Madan, hello. If you're still here, welcome. So the reason it's not is because TikTok gave away my channel to somebody else. Without my permission, they completely and totally gave away my channel. They said, you know what? Somebody came to them and said, hey, I've changed my email address. I've changed my phone number. Please change it in the system. I did not go to them and ask them to do that. Somebody hacked my TikTok account and they did that. And so what they did is they eliminated overnight, they eliminated a 45,000 follower channel on TikTok. And I had no recourse in the whole matter. And it's because I didn't build the well, right? I had begun to build the well, but I didn't build the well. But what Ray did after watching me for 3 months is he created $1,300 in monthly, that's what MRR is, and I know it's cut off a little bit, I apologize, monthly recurring revenue. And he did that in 45 days. Now, I want you to think about this. Do you really think that if you did something like this on TikTok or YouTube, that you could create predictable monthly income of $1,300 every month? No, you could not. You also probably are very unlikely to do that selling digital products either. Right? Done for you digital products. That is the big buzzword. Done for you, which people are not understanding that if it's done for you, it's cookie cutter. Everybody's selling it, and what makes you different from everybody else? But this is what he did. Not a one-time sale, monthly recurring revenue. And the only variable that changed was that he monetized what he already knew without worrying about how many followers or views he got. Doesn't that seem like a heck of a lot better way to do this? Because you have the ability to monetize what you already know, and more importantly, you get to do it on a monthly basis. A monthly basis, okay? So, that's what Ray did, and he did it in 45 days. Now, you might be saying to yourself, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this for you too. You might be saying to yourself, and I'm going to make this nice and small so everybody can see it. You might be saying, look, Chuck, Ray had a TikTok following. I don't have that. Actually, he didn't. He had, I think he had less than 3,000 followers on TikTok when he did this. All right, less than 3,000 followers. And you can see now I've got less than 1,300 followers, but I don't even spend much time on TikTok because for what I do, I have come to see TikTok as a platform for entertainment and for distraction, but not so much for real serious people. Now, if you are the exception to that and you're on TikTok and you're watching me, great. But that's what I find. I find that, look, and there are people that are using TikTok and they're killing it. just not been a platform that I have been, and quite frankly, I'm not ever going to be a real big fan of a platform that stole my account and never helped me get it back. Right? So he didn't have followers. He created a community. Right? He created a community. And the thing about a community is it is a shared experience, because what you're doing is you are bringing in people that, let's see who we got here. You're local. Hey, what's going on? What's rude? Tell me what's rude. What I said about TikTok? Clear that up for me. I don't know. Hey, look, that's my opinion. And it's my live, so I'm entitled to my opinion. But I don't know if that's what you thought was rude. But it's not about followers. Because look, if you get paid based on followers and views, you have a hobby. You have a hobby that has extra steps. You don't have a business. Because you can't depend on how many views you're going to get, how many followers you're going to have, and you can't even depend if you're going to keep your channel. You have no control over any of that, right? So the platform doesn't matter. What matters is whether you're charging for access to your expertise. And the reason he decided to charge is because there were too many freeloaders in the mix. And those freeloaders were not serious. And you do yourself a disservice when you bring in free people because they aren't serious. Okay? They're not serious people. And what was it? Was it Billions? Yeah, there's an HBO show called Billions. And one time the father, the patriarch of the whole family, he said, "You are not serious people." And that's just how I feel about most of TikTok. They're not serious people. Again, if you are the exception to this, God bless you. And you are welcome to, check out what we're doing. But they were not serious. But it also, when you charge a cover charge, and I love to use quotes, that's my thing, right? If you charge a cover charge, you will only attract serious people, right? So if you want to learn what Ray did and what I taught Ray to do, it's very simple. Ray jumped in this group. And if you don't know what this is called school. This is a thing that TikTok doesn't want you to know about. This is a thing that TikTok discourages people from encouraging people to go visit. All right? Now, YouTube. Oh, yeah, that was rude. No doubt, local. Yeah, they stole my account. Completely. I mean, completely robbed me of my account. And I told them that I did not authorize that. And I apologize if I got snippy. But, yeah, I told them I didn't authorize that. My phone number was still my phone number. My email address was still my email address. And they never even responded to my emails. And so what this person did, they even took it a step further. They blocked me from seeing my own account once they changed the name and took down all my videos. And I know they took down my videos because I was able to see it briefly. And then all of a sudden they saw that I created this account so I could try to find out what was going on with it. And then they blocked me from seeing that account because it had my name on it. So they blocked me from seeing my own account. But before they blocked me, I saw they took down every single video and they changed the name of my account. Now, they outsmarted themselves, though, because you're not going to be able to duplicate what I do just because you have my group, right? Because the people that were the people that were following me on TikTok were there because of the type of content I created. They were creating all kinds of crazy ass content, and it had nothing to do with me. And they had pictures of Elon Musk, and I don't know if it was crypto. I don't know what the hell it was, right? But anyway, this is school. This is something you own. TikTok and YouTube and Facebook are rented, and Instagram. they're all rented land. Let me ask you something. And I'm asking for both people on TikTok as well as on YouTube. Would you build a house on land that you did not own? Would you build a house on land you didn't own? Let me know in the comments, yes or no. Would you take the time, spend the money, the effort to build a house on land that you don't own? I think we all know the answer to this, right? No, you would not do that. But every time you grow a following on social media and you don't have a place that you actually own that you can send people, that's exactly what you're doing. You're building a house on rented land. But this is land that you own. For as little as $9 a month, this is land that you own. Because you have a community. Sorry, trying to get this here. What's going on? Why is, oh, there we go. All right, so you have a community. Now, what is a community? A community is kind of like the equivalent of your Facebook wall or a message board, right? It's the equivalent of that. And in here, I have a start here post. If you're new, this is what you do, right? You introduce yourself. And then I've got stories that tell people exactly what to do, right? I've got stories and I've got examples that show people exactly what to do. So you have a community. This is where you connect with other people. This is where you interact with them. All right? Then you have a classroom. And that classroom is what we call giving somebody an onboarding experience so within 7 days they can accomplish something significant. And the reason we do it in 7 days is because you have a 7-day free trial. Now, not everybody gives free trials. Some people want to charge right out of the gate. I don't do that. Because when you charge right out of the gate, you make people less likely to give it a shot. But if you give them 7 days and you can deliver enough value to them in 7 days that they're like, well, I want to stay, then a low ticket community like mine is, right? A low ticket community where it's $9 a month to get started, that's a no-brainer. And the reason I do it at $9 a month is A, I don't want to do free anymore. I had a free community that I built through TikTok. 750 members. You know what? 99% of those people did absolutely nothing. They absolutely did not go through the classroom. They didn't complete anything. And so all they proved to me is they weren't serious people. So I said, all right, I got to get rid of these non-serious people. And the best way to do that is to put a low entry fee. It also keeps spammers out, right? Also keeps spammers out. But you have a classroom, and that's what you do. Then you set up, and if I'm yelling, I apologize, but then you set up a calendar of events so people can hang out with you. Like I've got a free, in my community in the $9 version, I hold one free workshop a month in the free community, and that's actually coming up on in a couple of weeks on the 27th on a Tuesday, right? So I hold those workshops. Now, in my higher paid tier where I give you more help, I hold those every single Saturday. Plus, you have total access to me on DMs. So, and I'm trying to find my thing. Where did it go? There it is. I know, now you're seeing the infinity thing, and I'm trying to fix that. I'm sorry. Let me get where I am here. I'm trying to find my, there it is. Yeah, sometimes I can't get this thing to stay on top, which is really what I want, okay? So, you've got an event, right? You've got a calendar of events. You have a roster of all your members. Why do you have a roster of your members? So you can stay in touch with those people. You can chat with them. You can determine where they are in your membership group. You have a map, so you can figure out where all those members are from. Right? The majority of my members are in the United States and Canada. But I do have some people, look at this, I've got some people in Europe. I've even got some people in, what is that, Africa? Yeah. So I've even got people in the continent of Africa. I've got people in India. I've got people in the Far East. And I don't know how that possibly happened, but they're there, right? So you have that. You have a leaderboard. So people can see where they stand after a certain period of time. You have a leaderboard. And then you have this thing called an about page. Now, what this thing does is this eliminates the need to have a website, because these about pages convert way better than websites. And see, you can see, now, if you were to come in as a non-member of my group and you clicked on free trial, the first thing it's going to ask you is, do you have an account with school? If you don't have an account with school, all you have to do is create one. Very simple. You put a name, email, and a password. They send you verification to your email. You verify that you wanted an account, and you have one, and it's free. It's not free to have an account. It's only, it is free to have an account, but you only get charged if you join a group that is paid or you start your own group. And if you decide to start your own group and you click on my link and you do it, I will personally help you start your group. Now, why would I do that if you're not in my, higher tier community? Why would I do that? Because you're using my link, and the longer you have a successful group on the school platform, school pays me every month a percentage of what you pay to have your group. All right, so it's a brilliant business model. But when you start that free trial, look at this, $9 a month. So, I'm sorry, hang on a second. Back this up. This is wrong. Where are we here? That was wrong. Sorry about that. All right, so you're on my about page, right? You start free trial. Why is it saying this? Oh, I know why. Sorry about that. Let's go back. I don't know why it was saying that. And it was saying that because of this, because I had it on member. That's why I was doing that. So let's get off of that. There we go. Get off of this. All right. So you come into the community, you decide you want to start a school. You create your community. You've got a hobby plan and you've got a pro plan. Look, when you're first getting started, you only need a hobby plan. So you are literally running a business where you can have unlimited members, unlimited content, videos and posts. You can have unlimited live calls, all for only $9 a month and a 10% transaction fee. So what does a 10% transaction fee mean? Well, it basically means that, and I'm going to pop back out here. It basically means that you, if you charge $10 a month for your community, school will get $1 of that. So you'll keep $9 out of every 10. That's still amazing. Now, if you upgrade to the Pro later, then they only get 2.9%, which means out of $10, you get $9.20 of that. So, or $9.80. Sorry about that. Or no, I suck at math. Okay, math was not my major in school. So you get that, right? But you're running a business for $9 a month. Let me repeat that. You're running a business for $9 a month. And if you think that you cannot make good money doing that, let's go back and I will show you. Now, this is one of my favorites. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Or did I? I think I did, actually. I don't know what happened. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Sorry about that, guys. I got a whole. If stuff like that happens, you know what you do? You just say, wing it, man. You just wing it. Oh, I disappeared. Yeah, there's some goofy stuff going on here. Oh, I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. That's not good. The spinning wheel of death is not good. So we'll just come back out here. All right, we'll just come back out. Yeah, I think I've got a lag going on my vertical or on my horizontal. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, big lag. Big lag. So I don't even know what's happening here. There we go. Yeah, I had a big lag going on there. But that's what you do, right? You just start a community. Just start a community. All right, we're going to try this again. Let's see if we can get it right this time. Holy cow, we have got a serious lag going on here, folks. Sorry about that. All right. Well, anyway, hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to go to this thing called School Discovery. All right, and I'm going to show you some communities that are paid that are doing really well. And I'm going to start with this guy. His name is Evan. And as you can see, Evan has 357 members after a free trial paying him $25 a month. What are they paying him $25 a month? To learn Grand Theft Auto 6, which doesn't even come out for another 5 months. Now, what's interesting about Evan is 3 weeks ago, Evan didn't even have a community. He didn't have a community. Are you kidding me? The dude did not have a community at all. And then he created this community. People found out about it, and they started joining. Every day, I go visit this kid's community. He's got more members. He started out, last week he had 200, I think, at the beginning of the week. Now he's up to 357. Let's do a little math, shall we? And I'm sorry you cannot see me on horizontal. I truly don't know what the heck's going on over on horizontal. But it is whacked out. All right, it is absolutely whacked out over here. Now see, over here you can see me. Watch. Woo, I go away. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't know what's going on. And the weird part is, well, let's see. Let's see if I copy it. Maybe I can copy it. Holy crap, I can't. All right, see? There it is. Now, yeah, there is a major lag going on my thing here. So let's just get rid of that. Yeah, there is a massive lag, and I don't like it. So we're just going to get rid of that. All right, we're getting rid of it. Boom. So you're not going to be able to see me there. Sorry. But we're just going to go back here because you can see me here, right? So anyway, that's just one example. Now, what you'll see, and I'm afraid to go back, but we're going to do it anyway. Oh, I did it again. What is with me, man? What is with me? Maybe it's the, okay. So when we go back, right, we go back to School Discovery. This is in the money category. But look how many categories there are. There's hobbies, there's music, there's spirituality, there's health. Let's check out the health category. If I told you how much this kid was making, you would not believe me. You wouldn't believe me. Because what does he have? He has 7,500 members, right? 7.5 thousand members. He makes $292,000 a month, and he's 20 years old. So don't tell me you can't do this. Don't tell me you can't make $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 a month. All right? This kid makes, and look, these are huge numbers. All right? I don't expect you to believe the huge numbers. I really don't. You don't have to. There's plenty of proof that I can show you that those numbers are real, but I don't expect you to believe those. But I do expect you to believe that if he's making 300,000, let's say, okay, so let's say he's making 290, all right? If he's making 290, do you think you could do 1% of what he's doing? Do you think you could do 1% of what this kid is doing? Yes or no? Put it in the comments. Could you create 1% of the level of success that he has? Yes or no? Because if you could, you'd be making $2,900 a month. If you created 2% of his success, in other words, he's 50 times more successful than you. But if you create 2% of the level of his success, you're making $5,800 a month. And if you're not aware, let me share something with you. If you are not aware, if I can find what I'm looking for here. Nope, that's not the right one. Doggone it. See, this is when you know it's live. This is when you know it's live because we're not faking it. I don't have it all together today. I disappear on this thing. It is lagging seriously. That's what I wanted. Oh, and see, my camera's gone. How crazy is this? There we go. All right. So this camera. And by the way, if you're not familiar with this program that I'm using, because I can simulcast this to TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and I can use all of this program to do that too. So where's my little circle here? Yeah. And then I can just bring that down, which is exactly what I'm going to do. There we go. So I'm right here. But if you're not familiar, man, none of my slides are working today. Well, ain't this a pain in the butt? None of my slides are working today. All right, so we're going to bring that down. We're going to bring that up. See what I can do? I don't know. What do you think? Is this a pretty cool program that you can do all this stuff with this? And look, that's not perfect, but I'm just bringing it in here so you can see it. And you can kind of watch me work with this thing, because I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite programs. This is one of the favorite things that I've ever invested in for my business. All right. So again, this is not perfect. I get it. But let's go. Let's go over to my YouTube, and then let's go to my man Hormozi. And then we're going to wrap things up here, because I'm not getting any feedback from anybody. Looks like you guys aren't really into this, and that's fine. If that's your deal, no worries. Right? No worries. But this is this is my YouTube channel. And all I do is I send people from my YouTube to my school group. That's all I do. Okay? So it's not that difficult. And if you want to join my community, we're going to wrap things up here. But if you want to join my community, you can try it out for 7 days for free. And I promise you, if you go through the classroom, by the end of the 7 days, you're going to have a group of your own, right? You're going to have a group of your own that looks kind of like this. You're going to have one of these images. You're going to have some other images here. You're going to know what to say here. You're going to know what to say here. You're going to know how to put this part together. I'm going to teach you all of that in the first 7 days for free. And then at the end of the 7 days, if it was worth it, you hang around for $9 a month. And I go live with you once a month. I'll answer questions in the community. I don't do DMs so much for people in the free community. But if you want that access, you can join my premium part of my community. But that's all you have to do. Check it out. All right? So that about wraps it up for me. I don't see that there are any questions. So we're going to shut her down. And if you want to join the community, there it is. And there's a link in my YouTube. And if you're on TikTok and you're watching this, click on my YouTube and then get the link. Or, did I keep this? I think I did. Did I keep it? I don't remember. Let's see. Did I keep it? I don't remember if I did or not. Well, anyway, guys. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up. I don't see any questions. I'm going to check one more time. But I don't see any questions. Nope, no more questions. All right, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have a great day. And if you like this, I got plenty of videos about this whole thing, about how it works. And look at that, my microphone disappeared. But I got plenty of videos showing how this whole thing works. And it's been cool for me, I'll tell you that. It's been a lot of fun. So you guys take care, and don't forget to subscribe.